If you guys are willing to take 1 to 2 trades a day, stick to that for 1 year, you'll change your entire trading for the rest of your life. Another thing he said that really changed a lot of things for me was attention is the new currency. So I do go big. I do get very aggressive when the right opportunity comes, and I'm disciplined. So I will save that for the best shot. What do you do to become successful? And it's not what I do, it's what I don't do. I don't party. I don't drink. I don't wake up hungover. I don't hang out with negative people. I don't consume negative content. When the water faucet breaks or when the car tire pops and all of a sudden you're like, I need more money. I need this trading thing to work. Settle down, stay composed. Remember, you're still in the college learning phase. Once you get through the learning phase, you can take the L off and you could begin earnings.
Right here on the podcast, start us off. Predict, do the Knicks beat the Celtics? They're up 2-0.
I think so.
Knicks in
I think
7?
going back to the Garden. So if I was going to put money on it, I would say Knicks are going to win because we're going back to the Garden for 2 or 3?
For 2.
For 2. So I say they get at least 1 there.
So you go up 3-1.
And then they go back, yeah.
So you think Knicks in 6, Knicks in 7?
7. Knicks are definitely going to make it hard on the Knicks fans, for sure.
Knicks in 6?
We'll
I
see.
would love to see the Celtics come back.
Yeah,
as much
that
as I want the
happens.
Knicks to win, because I think I don't want the Celtics to win,
Yeah.
it would be sick to see the Celtics come back from 2-0 down.
Which is not out the picture at all.
No, because
Yeah.
I mean, how much worse can they shoot?
No, exactly.
So-
I mean, if they make half the threes that they missed last time, they're in the game.
Exactly. I mean, they blew it.
Yeah. If they
Honestly,
made one of those threes, they would have won.
That's what it really has been, is like the good teams are blowing the game. They are winning in the third quarter and then blowing it.
Crazy. Consistency, man.
Consistency, bro.
You gotta
Oh, we're
play
going to
the
talk
whole
about
game.
the consistency. Good segue.
Yeah,
Consistency rule.
You got to play the game.
But, buddy, it's good to see you.
You too, brother. Always a pleasure.
We've been playing a lot of
ASFX.
golf.
We have been. We've both been improving as well, which is always nice to see.
I feel like you more than me.
You think so?
Yeah. I was really into it last weekend with Evan.
Yeah, you are.
I was heated, bro.
Well, I got a little mini golf putting range at my house now.
Showing, bro. It's
There's
showing.
a 24/7 driving range down the block. So, and then we've been playing every week.
You've been going
So
with
we're
them?
only bound to get better.
Every week.
Johnny Jem's been with me. Joe's been with me.
It's
so
good, bro.
I
What
know.
would you have done had we not found golf?
I don't know.
I
dude.
remember the first time we went out, bro. You still had the wrapping on the fucking
I know. I still have it actually.
on the bag.
I still have it on the
so
back.
funny.
Yeah, I don't know. I've really grown to enjoy golf. I've related it a lot to life too, and trading too, and all that. So I've really grown to enjoy it. I mean, we watch it at home now. I'll get home and Anna's watching golf on the TV.
No.
She's like, "Yeah, Scotty's up. He's 13 strokes under." I'm like, "How do you know this?" She's like, "Yeah, I've been watching the whole game so far." I'm like, "Wow."
You got the whole fam hooked.
Yeah.
Bro, you see last weekend, he set like the PGA
Insane.
record, right?
Insane. What was it? Under 30 or something?
Something crazy.
30 under?
29 under. Bro,
Crazy.
crazy.
Insane.
Yeah, he's unbelievable. But is it also that he's playing against guys that aren't that good and he's
Right.
playing on a course that's super easy? Maybe.
Yeah, maybe,
we'll see in the next
maybe.
couple of weeks because I think we
Yeah.
have a couple of big tournaments coming up.
We do.
Yeah.
We do. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how he does.
But you're not getting into tennis with me.
Not really. I haven't gotten into tennis much, but maybe we'll go to the Open in New York.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know, maybe that'll get me into it. A mentor of mine, his son is actually playing some like high level tennis now
Really?
at like 14 years old.
Really?
Played in the Australia Open and all
Wow.
that. So yeah, it's getting.
It's a good sport.
Yeah.
You can play for a long time if your body stays good. It's like golf. You know what I'm saying? And it's super competitive.
The only thing I really know about tennis is that from that movie with Will Smith, the
Where he's
Sir
Serena Williams.
Richard
yeah, he's Serena
something.
Williams'
Yeah.
dad. Yeah.
that was such a good movie.
I didn't even
man.
see that movie.
No,
yet,
you
to
got
be
to check
honest.
it out.
All right.
Yeah, it's a
I
good
guess
movie.
if I like tennis, I probably should.
Yeah, fire.
With golf on the mind, we had the seminar, the dinner, the golf outing.
Yep.
What'd you think of meeting all the boys?
I think it was great. The ASFX boys know how to get down, man. I'll tell you that. On the golf course, at the restaurants.
We tried
went
to get him
the-
to come out, bro. He would
Yeah.
not come out with us. No matter what. Nick will not break routine. I always give Nick credit.
Yeah.
The process and the discipline is definitely there.
Yeah, I had to get home, had to get back to bed and get ready for the next
But
day.
you won't turn down a nice
I won't.
steak dinner.
I won't. I was
at a
there.
steakhouse.
I was there.
No matter what time, you'll be there for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was pretty good.
It was great. It was good to meet some of your guys.
You got to
it was
hang
good
out with Randy.
Good to meet Randy. Shout out to Randy on the podcast, man. Randy, a bunch of guys. I don't want to mention any names because it's too many of them, but that was a good time, man. Good pleasure. You got a good group with you, and iron sharpens iron, so you keep the community tight. And
are you cooking up an event? Traders, real quick, a pause from today's podcast to thank our first sponsor, Top One Futures. You've probably heard about them by now. Top One has been a sponsor of this show for over 2 years. We've got a link in the description that's going to save you over 35% on any challenge with Top One Futures. Just use the code ASFX, and that'll save you the biggest discount that they're offering at the time of you watching this. Big shout out to Clay for being here and also for helping us make this podcast happen. A big thank you to our second sponsor, TradeZella. If you're not tracking your trades, you're falling behind. I can save you on the monthly plan and the yearly plan, whichever works better for you, but we would highly recommend that you start tracking your trades today using TradeZella. I'm a big fan of Umar. They have been nothing but supportive and helpful to me and my community, so we want to save you guys money and we want to get you tracking today. Use the link in the description and you will be able to save either 10% or 20% on your monthly or yearly plan. Now let's get back to the podcast.
I am. So we're doing a meetup in July.
Okay.
We're thinking about doing it in a massive Airbnb. Fits 40 people.
Oh yeah.
So we
Where
got in Tampa.
Okay.
Yeah, in Tampa.
Cool.
Not too far from the last meetup that we did. So we'll see. We're trying to lock the Airbnb and make sure it's the right vibe. And yeah, it's nice. Dude.
What's the plan, bro? Like hire catering, hire a DJ? What are you going to do?
So we'll probably do catering for like one night, and then the place has a grill and whatnot. So we got some TT members that are chefing. They like the chef. So we'll get a whole bunch of steaks and burgers and things like that. There's a huge pool out there and all that.
Oh,
so
that'll be perfect, bro.
I think that's what we'll do. And we'll kind of not have too much of a strict schedule, but I think we'll have some time to break bread, gather, and kind of share from the heart a little bit as well during that time.
I find that doing these events, people want that more than the education side of it sometimes. They just want to hang out. You know, everyone's asking me when's the next event. I don't even know yet.
Right.
Probably the beginning of the next year, to be honest.
Yeah.
But like they want it for the networking and the camaraderie that you get from hanging out with everybody and talking to other traders.
It's true, man. Because, they look up to you, but they go, I mean, that's Austin Silver. Like, of course he could do that.
I get what you're saying. Because then they see other randoms.
Yeah, when you get around other people that you talk to in the chat or in the Discord, you're like, man, this guy's doing
real life.
He's a running buddy of mine,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that friendly competition that I think most communities are actually missing at this point.
100%.
Yeah.
So talk to us about the transition you've made, bro, because a lot has changed since we spoke last.
Yes.
We did a big podcast, you and me, via Zoom. Then we did one, you, me, and Clay.
That's right.
That was somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't remember where that
I don't
studio
know where
was.
it was. Tampa.
So now we're like kind of 3 episodes deep.
Yeah.
But you're trading futures and you're focusing on gold.
Yep.
So we need to kind of catch everybody up. So let's go back, actually.
Sure.
You got started trading with Forex, trading gold.
Yep.
With who?
So with Raja Banks. So at first I was trading with him. He traded gold and GJ. So I just kind of grew to liking those pairs as well. And that was it. 2 pairs, 1 session. And that was it for me. By doing that, I went from break negative to break even to, actually profitable, sticking to 1 to 2 trades a day, 1 or 2 pairs, and just 1 time a day. Like I was only trading the New York session back then. So gold is a pair that I really got to follow and catch the rhythm of, and been trading it now for like 4 or 5 years. So
stick to what you know.
Yeah.
What was the biggest tip Raja Banks taught you?
Probably that. Stick to 1 to 2 trades a day. What that's going to do is that will really limit the human error. I mean, that's most of trading failures and pitfalls are due to human error anyway. We know that the technical system works. It's just a lot of times the trader fails to follow it. So when I was taking 5 or 10 trades a day, I was leaving so much room for error, especially as a rookie trader. So I obviously fell to, revenge trading and FOMO and all that stuff. And I really wanted to get it together. My daughter was about to be born. I'm like, I got to get this thing together here. So I'll never forget, he said, if you guys are willing to take 1 to 2 trades a day, stick to that for 1 year, you'll change your entire trading for the rest of your life. And I had heard him say that many times before, but something hit during that time. And I was like, all right, you know what? I'm going to take this literal. I'm going to test this and really apply myself to it. And that was the greatest tip because that allowed me to be very selective now, very boring in my trading, look for It's either there or it isn't. And the other thing was it made me take the best trades. So not just random moves in the market, but the best moves, because I knew, hey, I only got 1 or 2 bullets here today, right? And I know I'm going to have to journal them later, and I want to take the best trade that this session presents. So that's what I did. I honed in, I focused. I took 1 trade a day for about 1.5 years, 2 years, and then that set me on a course to run.
Has that changed now? Because I see you trading a lot of different sessions now.
Yeah. That changed this year, I would say.
Okay.
So this year, I have developed my maturity as a trader now, and actually a lot of people think I'm too selective now, and that's fine because it makes money, you know what I mean? And as long as it makes money, I'm there for it. So that has been a pretty big shift, but now I've been trading multiple sessions. So now that I know what a good quality setup looks like, and I'm going to be selective just based off of the repetition over the years, now I can show up to like every session and find the best trade of that session. And some days I'll take 2 or 3 trades.
How many trading sessions do you think new traders can handle day to day? Because like you have the clubhouse running all the time, basically.
Yeah.
So now as a new trader, where do you know to start? Where do you know to pick? What would you recommend to the guys that are new?
Yeah. So I would recommend look at your schedule. Like go ahead and see what life got going on for you right now, right? Before you commit to, because if you're on the East Coast and you're trying to commit to the London session, I mean, that's going to be difficult, right? So really figure out where you have the time slot. And I would recommend just sticking to 1, maybe 2 sessions. And when I say 2, I mean like pre-New York and New York.
Got it.
Or pre-London and London. Kind of stay in that window to where you can see the same, patterns in the markets and the same flow of it. But I think 1 session a day for a new trader is more than enough. You're still in the learning stage. It's not like you're going to earn a bunch of money by trading all these sessions. You got to learn. And then once you have, like I did after I traded 1 or 2, trades a day for a good year, I was able to build up some maturity and some experience, and then I started to dive into a couple other sessions. But one session a day is more than enough.
And now looking at it from a coaching perspective, because you've worked with so many traders, you're seeing traders find success, and also you're seeing traders, I'm sure, spin the wheel and not become successful. Sure. When you think about the 1 trade a day, the very focused thing, what tip do you give to people to being disciplined? Because it's very easy to overtrade. It's very easy to trade all the time from your phone, in the car even, right?
Yep.
What's the first step towards being more disciplined in the pursuit of being sharp as a trader?
I think just being selective. Trading is very counterintuitive. So a lot of times, like these great guys and girls come in, they're very ambitious. They do well full time outside of trading, but they think that they can bring that ambition into the market. And this is where it gets a slippery slope, because they think because they come from working an hourly job or a salary, or I should say commission-based sales job, that, hey, the more I do, the more I'll make, right? 100%. But then they come into trading and they think, hey, the more trades I take, the more money I'll make. So it's one of those things that you got to try and get through the ambitious guy's head, that I admire your ambition, but you got to tone it back a little bit. You got to get more calm and composed here, because in sales, if you're having a bad morning, you can sell, right? Call, knock, knock. But in trading, if you're having a rough morning, it's not trade. It's really being selective and waiting for the best, highest probability trade setup. And first things first, you got to know what that setup looks like. So once you know that, now you can wait on that. And if you don't wait on it, you're going to pay the price. And eventually you will get tired of paying that price, to the point where you stop.
Okay, so you did get to an answer there.
Yeah.
So the answer of how to be more disciplined is keep touching the hot stove until you build a tough callus.
Yeah.
But also, I have to give you credit, like I said before, like your discipline off the charts, I think makes it more easier for you to be disciplined on the charts.
Sure.
So as a new trader coming in, I've seen guys that they don't have a good routine. They're not taking care of themselves. They can't take care of the people around them because they're not taking care of themselves. How would they expect to trade consistently well?
Absolutely.
So to build on that, how do you stay consistent in your routines?
Yeah, that's perfect. I mean, the same thing where you plan your trade your plan, you got to plan your day. So every single day, everything is so structured. Like you mentioned, you hit it right on the head. Like how you do anything is how you do everything.
How you do one thing.
How you do one thing is how you do everything,
100%.
really, right? And I always say, if you're making mistakes off the desk, you're going to make them on the desk.
Totally
if you're
agree.
sharp, if you're waking up, I mean, that's the first thing. The first thing is building you, right? Figure out who it is that you want to be, the highest level of you, and then work towards that. Trading is just a piece of, it's just a money piece, right? There's still a lot that goes to that. So you develop these small little disciplines off the desk. Wake up early, wake up at a certain time every day. Same routine in the morning, whatever it's going to be, whether it be just take some time to think a little bit, read, listen to a podcast, have a coffee, whatever your routine is going to be, let it be that, right? Because you want to build out that repetition in being disciplined in the little things. You always hear the make your bed, right? Get to the charts, do your top-down analysis. Have a structured life in general, and you'll be structured in your trading. If you just wake up and you leave your bed undressed and you spill milk and you don't clean it up, chances are you overtrade. And you over risk and you just blow it at the desk every single day. So you really got to look at your habits outside of the trading and start to clean them up. And then eventually it will rub off into your trading 100%. But you got to lock in on the most important piece, which is you.
You also have to surround yourself with people that support that. You do a good job of that. You keep your family close by. You keep them on the same wavelength. I think that's a big differentiator for you as well. I know you, so I know you do that. I think a lot of people have people in their lives that are pulling them down or, you know, holding them back. So how do you make sure you're auditing the people around you to make sure that they do set you up for success in that way?
You got to include them. You know, you got to say, hey, this isn't about me, it's about us. Right. So like the average guy who comes in, maybe he's new to trading, he's got a wife, he's got some kids. If your wife just sees you going in the room for 3 hours and then not spending any time with her and then coming back out either happy or depressed, right, whether you won or lost the trade, it's not going to work. She's going to nag you. She's going to say, what are you doing? You don't want to spend time with me.
She won't support it.
She won't support it. But when you say, honey, let me sit you down real quick, hold her hand, right? Hold her hand and say, honey.
Dating advice with Nick Stewart.
Look at this. I look at this vision I have. This is where I want to take you. This is where I want to take our family.
For sure.
I think by studying the markets here and spending a couple hours a night in my office, don't get me wrong, I want to be with you. I want to spend time with the kids. And that's why I'm going to build something like this. So if you can give me that time in the evening or in the day or whenever it is that one is trading and kind of include your family as not a me thing, but a we thing, I think that's going to set you up for success.
Great point. I feel like people aren't saying that enough.
They're not.
I think people want to go into their hole and trade their way out of the hole alone. You know what I'm saying? And it's probably because they are afraid to admit when they're wrong, when they have losing days, and they have to own up to it.
Of course.
But that should tell you why you should do it. You have to take accountability for that, right? Because you'll probably trade better if you know that you have to talk about your losses to your significant other and explain your degenerate behavior to them. You know what I'm saying?
Certainly.
Let's back up really quick. One more question on the Raja Banks thing, because he was a big influence on you. I
Major,
look at the
massive.
way, I look at the way you
Still
trade.
is today.
Still is.
Yeah.
He gets a lot of flack on the internet. He gets a lot of negativity.
Yeah.
What do you think of all that? Do you think that it's more good than bad? Anybody at his size gets that kind of flack. What's your opinion on all that?
I mean, I think he kind of fishes out there and tries to grab it a little bit like purposely, which is understandable. He's a big Mongol now, right? He's got a big name and he wants to draw attention to his brand. So I like the way he does it. He's a really good guy. Like if you talk to him and hang out with him, I've never hung out with him in person, but just talking to him, he's a great guy. And, yeah, I just think he taunts a little bit on purpose just to cause some, you know, controversy a little bit.
Smart people know how to work social media.
They do.
And engagement is how social media, how you win.
Yes.
Right? So you have to be able to play that game.
Yeah.
Right? He sometimes likes to play the villain, or at least he used to, just like Patrick Whelan, just like some of these other guys. And it works. It gets them a lot of attention.
Another thing he said that really changed a lot of things for me was attention is the new currency. So I thought about that and I was like, this guy's right, because if you have trader A and trader B, they both make $100 grand a month, right? But if you have the attention on you, right, you're going to be able to start an educational business, or you're going to be able to start some sort of course to help people 100%. Or something like a clubhouse, a live streaming thing. So the attention is what you want, because that's where, number one, you're going to be able to make an impact. Number two, you could build a business. And number three, you could add multiple streams of income, you know, regardless of whether it is. Once you have a big enough audience, you can write Michael's secret sauce on a bottle of water and sell it for $49.99, right? Sure. So I think that was another big thing that he kind of mentioned as well, was just that in the future, attention will be the currency.
He motivated you to be more entrepreneurial. You want to hear something funny? At the seminar, I think this was like one of the biggest moments for me, was I talked about having multiple streams of income and how I became a trading coach and how my business started because people were asking me what I was doing, and then I was teaching them the small things that I thought were working.
Yeah.
And then it just grew into this that we have now.
Yeah.
I think I was kind of giving people the green light in that seminar. And a couple of people said to me in their testimonial at the end, you'll hear it on the video. They go, that was probably one of the most, important moments, because too often people think if I want to become a trader, I have to make trading my sole stream of income.
Yeah.
I just think first question you should ask is why?
Why?
Why? Because as soon as you ask why, you realize that's a dumb idea.
Why would you want one income?
Why would you want one
general?
stream of income as an entrepreneur? You don't. You need a lot of roots to make a strong tree.
You do.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I feel like a lot of traders hopefully will hear this and think, you know what? I do want to start posting about my trading.
Yeah.
There was nothing that gave me the green light or gave you the green light to start posting. We picked up on that same idea that attention is currency. And we both just said, I'll put myself out there on the internet. And then people start following. And I have a guy that just joined the Blackshirt Club that's been following me for 5 years. Literally knows everything about me since the start of ASFX. And he finally joined. Wow. So people will stick with you that long when you take that, really authentic approach.
And that's good business because you have, before you sold him a ticket, before he ever spent money with him or with you, you had impacted his life to the point where
he remembered me and knows what's going on.
And almost says, hey, I owe that guy money. Like, he's poured so much for free.
Wouldn't you rather sell from there than sell from
that's the only way I sell.
Persuading people like, come on, buy my course. I'll teach you how to get a Lambo.
Yeah, that's the only way I sell.
What are you laughing
at? The only way I sell is if I've been asked multiple times, can you do this for us? Can you do this for us?
But that means you're doing the right thing because you're providing more value than you're taking. Yeah,
you have to provide the value. I see a lot of these traders, and it's not to get at anyone, but they've got
at them, Nick. Come
they've
on,
got
we're
the
on a
sales
podcast.
tactics, and they've got the marketing tactics, and they don't bring anyone in their community because they don't provide any true lasting value. So anytime you're going to do business, you got to provide the value on the front end, right? So you provide it on the front end to the 100%. Point where people say, hey, I want to run with this guy. Whatever else he's doing, he's impacted my life to a major point up until now. Wherever he's going, I want to go with him. And then that's when you get it, the membership or the customer
Whatever
or the client on the back end.
For sure.
So then you got to over deliver, right? So a lot of guys over deliver on the front end, under deliver on the back.
Yes,
yeah,
absolutely.
exactly.
100%.
So you gotta make sure you're under promising on the front end, almost like don't even get in, and then really when they get in, blow their mind.
How hard is it to live stream to the clubhouse and take trades in front of people every day?
Simple game, simple
game.
Not hard at all.
So you came on stream with me a couple times. I've been streaming for a while. I got Randy coming on now. I'm bringing some of these other guys, trying to get them exposure, right?
Yeah.
Let them, they all tell me how hard it is to trade live. I'm like, I don't think so. I don't care. I'm doing my thing. You know what I'm saying? I had 2 trades today on the stream.
So
do you think trading in front of people has made you a better trader? Would
100%.
you recommend traders even make like video reviews? Like, do you think that those content creation pieces to get you attention has actually helped you make more money as a trader?
Without a doubt. Made me way more profitable as a trader because now I had a crowd watching, right? So I now had to really do what I taught.
For sure.
And if I broke a rule, they would call me out for it. Like, what was that, bro?
Why are you telling us to take 2 trades a day, but you're 5 trades deep?
Exactly,
right?
exactly.
Yeah.
And I've been doing it for so long, not for so long, but for over 3 years now. And I didn't just walk right into a big crowd. We started from 10 to 100.
100%.
So we've all kind of grown together in a way. And there's never really been much of that added pressure on me to perform or shed light on not good things or whatever and try and help people, because it's just we've just grown in it. You know what I mean?
100%.
It's just slow grow.
You brought on more people like him. You got them running the stream,
and then eventually, you these other characters now pop out of nowhere. And the avatars show up, and now you got multiple streamers streaming through the clubhouse, and it's rocking and rolling, man.
It's rocking now.
Yeah.
What is the busiest session in the clubhouse? Maybe give everybody that's a listener a lay of like the day in the clubhouse. What's that look like?
So like a lay of the land of like the schedule,
timing and stuff. Yeah.
So typically, every morning, if you're on the East Coast, we start off with pre-New York session, which is my brother Johnny Gems, who's here with us today, who does a fantastic job. And that session goes from like 6 a.m. to like 7:15, 7:30. So that's our pre-New York session.
Okay.
Then we move into the New York session, which is hosted by myself, and that will start typically around not too long after 7:45, 8 o'clock ish, and we'll run that session till about 11, and that'll usually be the most popular session. Obviously I'm the one up there. Plus we got a 900 people on YouTube as well outside the clubhouse on that session. So that's by far the one with the most eyeballs. But then later on, so after we get done with New York, we take the day. We don't trade power hour or anything like that live. But that's basically the day, and then the new day starts. So Asian session, typically me and my brother John will run that stream. We'll have a good amount of people in there. Asian's been hitting lately, so we've been doing well in Asian. And then London session will begin at 1:30 a.m. And that's ran by Magnus from Denmark. He was a elite, like a personal one-on-one student of mine.
Perfect.
Who young, sharp, just like John, just the willingness to grow, the willingness to learn and be mentored. And these guys have gotten phenomenal results for the members of the clubhouse. So that's kind of, the lay of the land. It's, Asian, London, pre-New York, and New York sesh.
It's a good day.
It is.
And it's great you got the guy in Europe running the London session. That makes it super easy for you guys.
Exactly.
Why has Asia been hitting? Let's make it current right now.
Yeah, man. There's been a lot
to us maybe about the strategy that's working in the Asian session.
Yeah, I think the tariff stuff talk and all that has had a lot to do with the movement in Asian, because even some of your guys that I follow, I've seen and they say, hey man, Asian's been hitting
last
lately.
night, bro.
Yeah. Oh my God. I mean, it's just been a lot of volume. Actually, it's been a lot more volume than the New York session on some of these days. But the idea is simple. Where's the higher time frame looking to go? Let's wait for a nice pullback, some sort of support. Gold has been very bullish, so we've been just buying gold. We just been playing with it, man, just letting it go up, come down, buy off support, take profit, move on to the next session.
Is it that simple?
It is.
What time frame are you entering on?
15-30 minute time frame.
And then like top down, you're starting at a daily 4 hour?
Daily, just so I have that in the back of my mind. 4 hours is going to guide my session though.
Okay.
So every session that we start, we're about midway through a 4 hour candle. So I can very easily get on there and read the candle and say, are we going to the target or have we hit the target and it's pullback time?
Got it.
And that's basically how we spot our ranges, look for our trades on the 15-30
Any
minute.
other indicators?
Nothing.
Just price action, just reading candles.
Yeah, pure price action.
Because the wicks don't lie.
The wicks do not lie. I'll tell you, they really, really don't. So
it's interesting.
That's pretty much it. Candlesticks and, my own little ranges and zones.
Now, I feel like Raja tweeted something about a gold sell-off when Trump first got elected that he made a lot of money on.
Yeah.
And now gold has ripped.
Yep.
So fundamentally, how much do you guys use the tariffs and the news to generate the bias, or is it all candlesticks?
Yeah, I would say probably 90% price action, candlestick, anatomy. Okay. Yeah. The news does play a little bit. I mean, I'll check Forex Factory and all that stuff. I really just look for red folder news. I stay away during the release, and then 30, 45 minutes after the release, I'll go dive in depending on how numbers came out. And at the end of the day, I'm following price regardless. So
same thing in the New York session too.
Yeah.
Will you just dodge the 8:30 news when you're running that pre-market kind of session, right? You're going to dodge that, wait till the open kind of thing?
Exactly. So sometimes we'll take the trades in the pre-New York sesh, but if we get 40 minutes to a half hour right near, we just, we get out, or we don't take any new positions. We wait for the news. And then typically on those days, 9:15, 9:30, that open will be the bigger play again. Sure. Yeah.
Will you ever trade the pound futures? Have you traded the currency futures?
I have not. I've actually moved on to the NASDAQ now.
Well, that was my next question. It's you probably should be trading NQ, right?
I am. Yeah.
Good.
So NQ is a pair that we watched for 1 year together as a group, as a community. We didn't take any trades on it.
For your strategy?
Yeah, for my strategy, for our strategy. And we just watched it. We just sample sized it. We didn't back test it. We just showed up every day.
Like a forward test.
Yes, forward tested, marked up our range. Better. Anytime we seen our playbook show up, we made a little note of it, seen if we would have entered in, how it would have went. And so far we've been doing good. So those results led to a 75% win rate.
Wow.
And that's about what we have right now on NQ. So we've been making some money on NQ over the last couple of weeks.
What's the risk reward on that?
I'm anything over a 1R I'm pretty good with.
Okay. I don't 75% win rate. Yeah, absolutely.
So I actually don't look at RR from an individual trade perspective.
Interesting.
Yeah, I look at my RR as an overall result
of the trade idea
of the trades over the course of a week or month.
Oh, okay. Interesting. So explain that.
So the way I look at it is I've always been a 1R trader, and I've always heard that you're either an RR trader or you're win rate trader, right?
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, I've always been a win rate trader.
Got it.
So I've always had a high win rate, 70, 80%. But my RR has always been 1R, sometimes even less,
Yeah.
you know, sometimes more, but sometimes less. And one thing, I went through a bit of some failure last year, hired a coach, got some mentorship. And one of the things that he shared with me was that he looks at RR based off of conditions in the market. So all of his trades look the same. Like all of my trades, they look same. So let's just say it's a 30 point stop loss for a 30 point TP. Now, there's going to be some conditions, right? Are we in front of news? Are we behind it? Is there tariffs? Is there wicks in the way? Is there some sort of something bothering me, right, about the condition of that market? And that's when I'll either lower my size or raise it. So I know when the conditions are in my favor, I'm more likely to win that trade. So I'm going to go, let's just say, take 4 contracts on that, right, on a GC chart. And that will typically be a winner. Now, when the conditions aren't in my favor, I know that, hey, I'm a little bit more likely to lose this trade. So that's where I'll go 1 contract.
Got it.
And believe it or not, those are typically the ones that we lose. And the ones that we scale up on are the ones that we win.
Shocker.
Exactly.
Higher probability you win more of them.
Yeah.
Right.
So although it's still a 1R, right, on the
it's not
map,
because you were much smaller.
I was much smaller.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I think that makes sense.
And look, sometimes you're going to lose the 4 contract trade,
for sure.
right? But those are the ones that I'm going to be much more confident in, and I want to step into that confidence. Like the guy told me, look, when I trade, I take base hits, but when the right opportunities show up, I increase, and that's how my P&L pops.
I like that you mentioned that you got a coach too.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're not the only one. Like we were just saying, Tanner was on the podcast with his trading coach.
Yeah.
The podcast was like, he made $10,000 in payouts after sucking for like a month or 2. Just had the coach, flipped a couple things started to turn around.
Oh yeah. Big difference.
Speaking of the payouts, let's talk about it with you.
Yeah.
Your community's big on Top Step.
Yep.
But I know that you're also trying Top 1 futures, trying different firms.
Yeah.
Who have you taken most of your payouts with? And do you think that that's the easiest firm?
By far, Top Step up until this point, and that was really before Top 1 had the futures thing going. We just all kind of skated out of Forex. Like when I left Forex, pretty much everyone kind of followed along, which they're smart for doing that, and they're all grateful that they did it, and so am I, because I'd much rather trade futures. But we've been getting a lot of payouts from Top Step, like a lot.
Why do you think? Is that just because it's the firm you guys went to and you think you got good traders?
Yeah, I just think we got...
Are you seeing more payouts too in futures than in Forex?
Oh yeah, big time. Even for myself.
Why?
I think it's just a lot, more than anything, peace of mind. At least for me. I don't have to worry about slippage. I don't have to worry about spread. I don't have to worry about crypto and in and out and all this crazy stuff. Everything's regulated. So I'm a little bit more calm and a little bit more confident in this market. I'm a scalper, so the entry I want is the entry I want. So when my Forex funds has 4 pip spreads on the regular, it's very difficult to take 20 pips when you're getting spread and slipped 4 pips on the 100%. Way in and 4 pips on the way out.
So more solid of a market. Have you started playing with any level 2 or anything like that?
Nothing.
Okay, so the market is centralized, like you just said.
Yeah.
So all of the orders are on the book. That's that thing you see me using, Bookmap. That would be interesting to see because of how you read price.
It would actually,
Because really when you were talking about your strategy and you read candles, you're really reading price.
Yes.
Price is doing things in a pattern that you are identifying and you're acting on. Correct, I wonder if Bookmap could help that.
It might.
It probably can.
That's the one with the big volleyballs.
Yeah. You can make them small. If you want tiny balls,
planet system.
We'll get you tiny balls,
like
buddy. Don't forget, make a note, tiny balls. Nick, what's the tiny balls?
I'll have to try it out.
I would overlay it, just like how you watched NQ. Yeah. I would overlay NQ just on the side while you're trading and watch it for a month.
Yeah, I'll take a look. Is that where the orders are? Basically, where the volume's coming in? Is that where you're?
The orders are the volume.
Yeah.
The Bookmap is tapping into the CME and taking all the orders that are on the book and creating a visual representation of this.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying, Lucci?
Yeah.
The options guy?
No.
Puerto Rican dude, Indian dude, lives in Puerto Rico? I've interviewed him before, short ball dude.
Yes. Yeah. Big like Wall Street. Or
he used to be. Yeah. I talked to him yesterday. He's got a product that they're looking to bring to futures. I can't say too much about it yet, but it identifies key levels that market makers are trading at that are extremely important, basically only because of the 0 DTE options. The 0 day to expiry options have so much volume right now that they are moving markets in a lot of ways.
Interesting.
And there's a direct correlation between the 0 DTE volume, he said,
Yeah.
and the QQQ and ES.
Gotcha.
So he does a lot of this correlated trading on ES.
Okay.
But with the bookmap, you can see all of it. So he said to me, he's like, no one reads tape anymore because there's so many indicators that give you the tape in a visual representation, like bookmap. Bro, bookmap just got bought by a Brazilian company, majority stake, I think like $10 billion.
Wow.
So bookmap's about to blow up.
Okay.
I'm telling you.
I'll have to join the next seminar, man.
I mean, honestly, bro, just buy it. I don't have any education on it. I interviewed one of the biggest guys in bookmap, Scott Pulsini. Guy crushes it. He trades every market. He's a lunatic. I had him on the podcast. I don't even think he has a lot of solid education on it of like a course. The best thing to do is just watch it. Trade with it while it's open and set it up very simply. I can show you how to filter out the algos. Literally 2 slides. I'll send it to you. Do these 2 settings, filter out the algos,
take a look.
and then see if it overlays good with your trades. I'd be very curious.
I would
like
be
when you see a level tested, and then it starts to trade away, if there's a block underneath that you could short into to either see that trade idea through, you maybe could have more confidence to take the trade.
That's interesting. I'll have to look into it.
Today, we took shorts off, I trade with VWAP.
Yeah.
We were short off VWAP, perfect into this
use
box.
the orders to,
I see the orders at 75. I don't see any orders above. I'm going to short off of VWAP into 75. Boom, we fill 75. I'm out of the scalp. We pull back. We set another block. I see a block building at 65. Well, I'll short again at 80 on the pullback, trading down to 65.
So let me ask you now, when you're shorting it down to 65, does that typically end up being a support level or resistance level?
It either acts as support or it gets absorbed. So the more you watch it, the more this is the harder part to figure out. You try to forecast, but you can't. You don't know if that block is going to be resistance and not fill. Sometimes big lot of contracts, it'll get close to it and not fill it. But most of the time, if there's a block in there, price will pull to it. And then how it fills it, the red or the green ball, the buying or the selling, whoever has more control there, determines if that block becomes support and we bounce or resistance, we go lower and then trade away from it. So it depends on how the orders get filled, who takes the control.
Yeah, I'll take a look at it. I'll put it up in sample size.
You can't get it in Forex. It's not a centralized market. You can only get this data from a market where all the orders are in one place.
Interesting.
And there's shit that goes on with bookmap, bro. This is where Scott gets deep and some of my guys in the Black Shirt Club get deep into it, called icebergs, where you will see like 100 contracts, but it's really 1,000. And as soon as those 100 fill, the iceberg, the whole thing actually fills, and you'll see big moves in markets. That's what the institutions and the algos get as an advantage over us. But Scott, who's been a trader forever, made millions of dollars, told me, bro, he lost a 6K Apex account during the podcast. He didn't realize he was in a trade, a live account.
Am I in a trade? Hold on.
He told me that he thinks the bookmap, in all his years of trading and clerking, he said that the bookmap is a bone to the retail traders. He's like, it's like a cheat code. It's an inside look at what's really going on. So you got to use it.
Okay, I'll take a look at it.
And you can do it for gold. I don't know if you need like what data you need, but with bookmap, you have to buy the software, and I think you pay like 150 a month or for 3 months, 150 for 3 months, not bad. And then you have to buy the data subscription. So for like the ES, I need the CME. But for gold, you might need the COMEX or something like that. And then you just buy the COMEX data feed, and then boom, you're seeing level 2 data all the time in Asian session. Where are the orders in Asian? Bro, I'll
check it out, man. That actually sounds pretty good.
It is cool, bro.
Because we are volume hunting traders.
If
you know what I mean?
And it'll look good for your social media content. People like it when I post the big balls. They like the balls, like you said. So
someone likes little ones. These guys like big ones.
Yeah, any size. We take them all. But before we derail too much into bookmap. You said 1 to 2 trades a day was the way it is. Now you're adding more trades. All on gold. What size are you throwing on these trades? Because I think people want to know from your experience. With the funded accounts, with the prop accounts, how many contracts should I be throwing? Could you give a guide for like a 150K account?
Yeah, can we do 100? Because that's typically what I use.
Absolutely.
So 100K is what I always use. I don't never do 50 or 150 anymore. I just like the 100K.
Okay.
I personally, so this may be a little like, maybe some people don't think about it this way, but I actually did pick this up a little bit from you. So like, I will risk 10 contracts on a combine or an evaluation account when the trade is there. And what I'm really risking is $99. So I'm willing to risk $99 per trade, right? And you can call it full margin, you can call it full port, you can call it blow the account. I'm okay with it because I see it from a business owner perspective as a $99 investment. So when I take these evaluation accounts, I typically pass them in 2 or 3 days. Sometimes 1 day. Now with Top 1 Futures, shout out to Top 1 Futures, I'll pass them in one trade. So I do go big. I do get very aggressive when the right opportunity comes, and I'm disciplined. So I will save that for the best shot, right? And again, those are from the years of sticking to 1 to 2 trades a day and being selective has come back and helped me with this, right? So I will wait for the best one and I'll unload, man, like 5 to 10 contracts
Unload
on
'em.
GC and on NQ.
Will you do that in an instant funded account or only in a challenge account?
In the challenge.
Okay.
Yeah.
In an instant funded account, do you try those at all? Is
I
your
don't.
community big on those?
No, yeah, a little bit. Something about the challenge account that I just like.
You're old school.
I'm old school.
Dude,
I
he's like the
going
dad that
through-
shows up
yeah.
with the flip phone. Don't do that, Nick. Get the instant funded
I
accounts,
do have
bro.
150K instant funded
Okay,
account
good.
that I'm up.
I think you got to try it.
Yeah, I got one with Top One. I'm up about $3,000 on
Nice.
it. But again, I get a little ahead of myself, so I got to mess around with the consistency.
I
and
made
tailor
too
it
much
back.
money in one day.
Yeah.
No, it is tricky. It's a weird thing with the consistency rule of like, you have to explain to someone you can't make too much money in one day.
And it's hard to understand that. It's like,
Yes.
wait, what?
Yeah, I get what you're saying because you're used to throwing a certain amount of risk around.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's where the 150Ks do come in a little bit more handy because you get more daily drawdown.
True.
Yeah.
True.
I mean, right now, I think Top One has the most aggressive instant funded account target on the first pay. I think it's 7,500.
Yeah.
Some of the other firms are like $9,000.
I know.
That's a pretty good target.
It is. I think that's pretty fair.
Bro, their original target when they first started, the rules were crazy low. Like it was like you have to make like $3,000 to
Yeah, I
take a
know, I
payout. That
remember.
was way too easy.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, there's going to be traders out there that
Even
are
he
gonna,
could do it.
Yeah, they're going to take advantage of that quickly.
For sure. So yeah, I think the space is evolving. Now they're talking about like AI being involved more and more in the prop space. I'm very curious to see if other models come out, like other challenge accounts, right? Someone suggested a merit-based account. Remember in Call of Duty when you had like gamer tag things, 50 headshots and you would get a gold gamer tag? Someone suggested people would be interested in that. I wouldn't be interested in trading that.
That would be crazy. I never heard that.
You buy the merit account and you call like a 5 to 1, 10 to 1 risk reward trade and you post about it and you get a reward tag for that.
That's crazy.
And maybe there's a cash prize at the end of it or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But you know, another way to play the game.
Right. I mean, I'm trying to think of how else do you do it. But
well, instant funding wasn't thought of until that came out. You know?
I know. So there's definitely other options out there. We just need big thinkers, you know?
Big thinkers, more than you and me.
Yeah, exactly.
So now let's go back to your trading strategy.
Sure.
By midday, you've hit 2 trades. Do you have a daily max profit target on the challenge accounts? Or because they're challenge accounts, you're running it until you're done the 2 trades a day, basically?
Yeah, pretty much. So I won't stop at a certain point. Again, like the maturity that I've developed now, if a good trade's there, I'll take it.
Got it.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter really what time of day. Sometimes they'll be in the afternoon.
Do you max daily loss at any point for the day and stop?
Usually if I lose a trade, I'm typically done on that account.
Got it. Okay, because I was going to say, because that's just in the combine. Once the combine is passed, how does your position sizing change and stuff like that?
That's a good question. So at that point, now that I've got it, I still look at it like I'm in a demo. So I'm not going to get all, oh my God, now I'm on this phase. Right. I still don't care about it. I just add $150 to the price tag. So now I'm not risking 99. I'm risking what, 250?
Yeah.
So now I'm risking 250, which if I'm trading my own live capital, which I was last year, I was risking 500 to 1,000 per trade.
Right.
So nothing changes in me. I don't let the next phase spook me or anything anymore like it used to. And I try to get that across to some of my traders too, is like, you really got to think about it in a different perspective, you know, in this perspective that you know about and I'm sharing here is, we're still looking for ROI, you know, so we're still looking to go pretty heavy. I'll tame it down though to like 3 contracts.
Okay.
So 3 will be my big one, 3 or 4 until I increase the profit on that account. And as the profits grow, the size will grow.
What are your tips for taking payouts?
Take them.
As soon as you can?
If you haven't taken a payout ever,
yeah,
I would recommend taking one as soon as you can.
Don't build a big balance.
No, because, and regardless of whether or not you financially need the payout or not, you need it more than you think you need it. You need it for like a belief, like a builder, right? Like a confidence builder. Because if you've never touched money in the markets, it's still up to grabs. Like it will be nice one day when I get payouts, right? So even though the guy who does well full time, he goes, I got $2,000 there. I don't need that, Nick. I say, you need it more than you think. You need to touch the money out the market. You need to officially feel what the hard work it tastes like, right? To reward yourself. And it's so funny because typically after one takes their first payout, here comes the next one,
more,
and the next one,
100%.
and the next one. And it's just like this. The more podcasts you do, the easier they get, the more simple they become. And I recommend that if you really haven't gotten money from the market yet, you're still living in a bit of a fairy tale when this happens and it's going to be so great and so nice. I recommend taking it out. Even if it's $1,000, go to dinner with your wife, you know, hang out with someone.
Real.
Yeah,
I agree.
make it real, spend it on something. So take payouts when you can.
Do you have a tactic for like people like myself who don't usually trade challenge accounts? Say you were coaching me.
Yep.
I passed it in 2 days because I went hard on it, like you said.
Yep.
Okay, so I hit it heavy, good first day, hit it heavy again, pass it the second day. What's the tips you give to those people to get that first payout?
So I would say at that point, just keep doing what you're doing because it's working. So I'm a very like straightforward coach. It's like trade the profitable trading system. There's nothing else. There's nothing else to this, right? So keep doing what you're doing. Lower your size a little bit because I'd hate to see you, you know, come in and then come out. So lower your size. I think you have to in most companies too now, right? But my message is so simple. Show up every day, look for the next best trade. If you win or if you lose, all you're doing is showing up again and looking for the next best trade according to the profitable system.
If I do that, how quickly should I be taking a payout on a challenge account? 2 weeks after passing, a week? What should that look like?
So a lot of our guys are doing it now in like 5 days because that's what you know, the thing is for
Top Step. You have to have like 5 days, $200.
Yeah.
So you're looking to just run basically 7 days green straight.
Yeah, exactly. And again, if it's your first payout, I recommend if you're up $1,000 or $2,000 in that 5 days, take it. You know, take it. If you're working on a goal, let's say you've already gotten multiple payouts and now you just want to build the account, I would just say, show up, look for the best trades, keep it going, keep your losses small, keep your winners where they need to be, and just keep moving. I don't have a special like, you know, this crazy formula to share with anyone. I really don't. It's like, you gotta, like we talked about last time, you gotta regulate yourself. Can you control yourself to only take good trades? That's the only way you're gonna get it here. The secret indicator, the book Mac, or this or that. It's like saying if I get the Scotty Scheffler clubs, I'll hit better, and it's not the case.
Not the case.
If I get the Michael Jordans, I'll run faster. It's not the case. It's you that's got to get better. So you just show up every day, do the best you can according to that profitable system. And I have to really say the profitable system because a lot of traders, they think they have a good system, but it's not profitable.
How do you figure that out?
By your data.
How do you adjust it to make it profitable?
So you have to, so my big thing is I'm very good at taking traders from break even to profitable. And I believe that to get from break even to profitable, there's not something you need to add. Everyone say, hey, what else do I have to do to become profitable? And it's not what else you have to do. It's what do you have to get rid of? What do you have to stop doing?
100%.
The way I look at it is it's like a boat where there's holes in the boat. So you're bringing, if you're a break-even trader, that means you brought money in. So let's say you brought 10 grand in, but you let the 10 grand go. So where is it leaving? Where are the holes in the boat? And through your data, and this is why it's so important to journal your trades and track your trades, through your data, you will find, especially if you have a mentor or a second set of eyes that could just get on there without any emotion attached to it, you will find where your boat is leaking.
Right.
And it's a process of awareness, becoming aware of what's going on, and then elimination, and then beginning to eliminate those things. Like for me, I see the same mistakes with my guys. The same mistakes. Doesn't matter if it's you, him. They all fall under a category of like 3 or 4 mistakes, maybe 5 that they're doing. And it's just price action stuff. It's basic stuff that I tell them don't do, that sometimes in the heat of the moment they do, right? And then that's what causes the leakage. So we got to plug the holes, stop the leakage, and that's how you go from a break-even trader to a profitable one.
Clip it. Plug the holes. Stop the leakage.
Stop the leakage,
It's
man.
true. Bro, you took it like literally out of my mouth. I've always said that I feel like to take a break-even trader to profitable, it's not usually adding a winning strategy. It's taking something away that's costing them losses. Getting the big red days off their calendar
100%.
makes the big difference.
And by the way, that's life.
That's life,
You know,
bro.
a lot of people say, hey, what do
Young
you
bull,
do?
listen up.
What do you do to become successful? And it's not what I do. It's what I don't do. I don't party. I don't drink. I don't wake up hungover. I don't hang out with negative people. I don't consume negative content. It's not what I do. It's what I don't do. That's really making me successful.
Facts, bro. So much, so much truth in that.
Yeah.
I think you don't get that until you get a little age under you, get a little wisdom.
You might. You know, and that's why we're trying to teach this and preach it to the young guys so they can not make the same mistakes.
Your kids will see it. My kid will see it. Maybe they'll be playing golf together one day. That'd be cool.
You see, I mean, we're made in the best form or God's highest form of creation.
Agreed.
So a lot of us are looking to add things, but what we need to be looking at is what can we subtract? Because the world has put baggage on us that's weighing us down. So it's almost like you have to shed those things. You have to get back to your true nature of who you are before Jimmy in 6th grade influenced you to think like this or talk like that. You got to go back to your original self and, find out, who it is you really are and how special you are. And then whatever's holding you back from that potential, you got to learn to get rid of it.
So the technical side of trading is easier to master than the spiritual and emotional side.
100%.
So
we could teach our kids the technical side
in about 5 minutes.
Exactly.
Right? I mean, it is so true.
Yeah.
But then you look at the traders that are struggling and how hard is it to get them to do that internal work? You know what I'm saying? And I think that's probably why trading is not for everybody. I'm sure you've encountered people already through your clubhouse where you're like, this guy is not going to make it. It's not for him. He might not have the time. He might not have the personality, but there's something about it where he's not going to make it.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's that.
It is. And I tell people straight up, and I think the straightforwardness really kind of wakes them up a little bit and kind of hits them on the ride home.
Yeah, well, they don't want to pay you to be nice.
Right. Exactly. And I'm not nice. If you could pay me for ice cream if you want me to be nice, but if you want me to help you and mentor you,
it's going to be tough.
I'm going to be tough.
Well, because how do you get better? You have to rip the muscle. You have to really get into it.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're in the gym every morning too. I see that.
I am.
Are you going to build a gym in the crib? Is that the move?
I am. Yeah, I think so. Or you never know. We might get the TT headquarters going in Tampa. And
is that the move?
That might be
like a little warehouse action or something? What are you thinking?
Yeah, I think so. Something like a little warehouse where we can have a little trade station, little gym going on in there, and a couple little things,
Parking yourself here, bro. I like it. Yeah, I'm going to be back. I'm on my way, but I'm not leaving. I'm just going to get it in a different place right
I know.
here.
You better not.
There's just so much going on in Florida. Like between
who's going to take my money every weekend on the golf course and then come
me, happily. No, there's so much going on in this area. I mean, Evan's moving to Florida.
I know.
He's already signed.
I was talking to him.
So he's coming
the other day.
Yep. So just too much going on here to not be here. And like with the events and stuff that we're doing. Yeah.
Yeah. Florida's amazing. I mean, you got so many good people here, so many good events. You can't beat. You wake up every day. It's like vacation.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It is. I mean, I remember trading in Philly, bro, and being literally in the ghetto in the hood because it was all I could afford, bro.
Yeah, and it's cold and it's rainy.
It's cold and
rainy,
and then you're down here in Florida. Whether you make money or lose money, sun's shining.
Yeah. Facts.
All right, where do we leave this, Nick? Check out the clubhouse. Are we doing a discount? You want to offer everybody if they listened all the way through? You want to offer them something?
Yeah, come to the live stream and we'll call some trades on that live stream, and you can take the profit from that trade and consider it a clubhouse coupon. So there will never be a discount on the clubhouse. It's just too much value to discount.
I like that.
Right? It's already extremely extreme. I mean,
what is it, 150?
It's 150.
Yeah,
and we live stream, right? We do webinars every weekend. We have a built-in course in there. It's like 100 hours worth of free, not free content, but 100 hours worth of content.
You got this boy working, bro.
Johnny Gems is working in there, Magnus. So honestly, it probably should be like $1,000 a month. But it's 150 and it'll never go lower than that.
Dude, when you see all the wins in the chat, like this morning, everybody making money with me, I see $3,000, $1,500, and I'm like, damn, I'm at $100 a month. I'm like, God, it's crazy.
Yeah, and we have people making thousands and thousands of dollars.
I know you've always had a good stream. When are you streaming live on YouTube for free so they can check you out there if they want to?
Yeah, so we stream live 8 a.m. to about 11 a.m. on YouTube Monday through Friday.
Okay, so that's like where to come check it out for free before you join the clubhouse.
Yeah, and I would recommend that. I'd recommend you come to our live stream for a good 2, 3, 4 weeks before you ever purchase anything or come into the clubhouse or anything like that. Come see if you really want to trade, because it's like Austin said, it's really not for everyone, and you need to sit there for 2 or 3 weeks to make sure it's something you really want to do. And then if you're serious about it, then you take the next step and join something like the Clubhouse or ASFX TV or get a mentor.
When are you going to come make another guest appearance, bro?
Dude, for you,
it's been a minute, bro.
Whenever you need me, I'll be there,
I'm stacking my lineup right now because of all these guys that are trading with Top 1 Futures. So I'm able to get so many good traders on the stream. The first live trader I'm trying to get him on, his name's Desi. He's a great trader from LA.
Live trader.
He's the first live one. Yeah, bro. He's
yep.
already taken live payouts on his Top 1 account. So him and a couple other guys are going to be big time live traders.
That's amazing.
Last question for you. Do you think that's in the cards, or would you go back to trading personal capital? Now that Top 1 is an easy path to live, is that something you might pursue?
Yes, it will be. Yeah, I don't think I'll be trading my own capital until this whole phase ends. You know what I mean? Like,
run it.
Why would I want to put my
Race
own
me to the live account.
Yeah. All right, let's
Race
do
me to the live account.
We can do it. We can have a little race.
All right. We need a bet for it.
Yeah.
John,
Friendly
come up with a bet.
competition. We definitely got to throw a bet on it.
100%. All right, everybody. We'll put a pin in it. Links are in the
sir.
description for everything we talked about. All of Nick's stuff will be down there so you can connect with him. But thank you, buddy.
Yeah, for sure.
Part 3,
for sure.
but definitely not the last.
Part 3. And one more thing, you know, like every trader out there, you got to really figure out where you are in the journey. Like, are you in the learning stage or are you actually in the earning stage? And whatever one it is, I would recommend you really figure that out, because if you're in the learning stage, learn. Take the time, study the craft. Tom Brady didn't get paid all this money because he signed a big contract. He signed a big contract because he got really good at playing his position. So he took many, many years to study the game, study how to be the best in that position, and then the money came as a byproduct. So really, any new traders, or even if you've been trading for a while, put your ego down, learn. Take 6 weeks, whether it's from Austin's stuff, from my stuff, whoever, right? Take the time to learn, and don't forget you're learning. So when the water faucet breaks, or when the car tire pops and all of a sudden you're like, I need more money, I need this trading thing to work. Settle down, stay composed. Remember, you're still in the college learning phase. Once you get through the learning phase, you can take the L off and you could begin earning. So don't try and come up too quickly. Do it right the first way so you can reap the reward and the benefits forever. Just like you would put together something for your child, you put it together properly the first time and then you can use it forever. So that's how the trading skill set works. That's what I would recommend. That's a big message, I would say. Too many traders are getting ahead of themselves. Slow down to speed up, my friends. All right, that's my last.
What an
2
ending.
cents.
Everybody, make sure you subscribe, follow
Yes,
Nick,
sir.
and we'll see you guys in the next episode. Thanks,
Later.
buddy.
Yes, sir.